Peoples of the universe, please attend carefully. The message that follows is vital to the future of you all.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Hugs America, Habibi. How are you doing? Oh, we like this. 1 second. Hallelujah. Yes, I like that. Like the one is better. How are you doing, everybody? Hugs America. What does Hugs America mean? It means, hug. A joyous festival. Hug is festival, and Samar is joyous. So have because we are in the festival of booze, baby. The festival of booze, Succot. This is where the Hebrews go and live in sukkahs outside their house. It's really weird, right? It's really weird. Okay, I'm this year. I'm not doing it that much at all, right? Because do I have pictures? Let me see if I can. Let me go to Facebook. I'll try and find pictures of friends because they got, because I always show mine. Hang on. I saw people put the pictures up of their sukkah. There we go. I don't want to show my Facebook feed. It's too weird. It's like Doctor Who weird comedy politics. A miscellaneous sci-fi. We got a lot to get to. I'm not sure we're going to get to it. We got a lot to get. Oh, God. Just sort of think for Ironheart. I'm sorry. Oh, God, that looks awful. It looks really awful. And then he did exactly the same thing with Green Lantern, didn't he? It's better. Oh, I have a bit of coffee, baby. Hang on. Come on, I saw tons of people's on my timeline. Now I'm just getting media stuff, right? Yeah, I'm going to my wife's, right? Now I'm going to my wife's feed. I bet she has more like normal pictures. No, that's just me and the family. Okay. No, I can't believe it. Really? Okay. One second. Here we go. Rabbi of mine put his pictures of his sukkah up. There you go. Fine. That tells you that shows you what it was like. Doink. Let me share that screen, baby. Share it, baby. Sharing is caring. Oh, I'm so shared. Where'd it go? It's a tab. That's why I can't find it. There you go. Facebook. Doink. Do that. It's a kind of like it's weird. This is on his. He's a patio on his garden, which is like it's like what most people have, right? It's it's like a patio, like, and you put chairs out there. A lot of people sleep in their sukkah. You're supposed to, right? It's got to have temporary walls, and it's got to have only organic roofing. And you got to be able to see the stars through it. So yeah, that's it. That's what that. And so here's the deal. If you're a male, you have to if you drink wine, bread, or any grain product, you have to go outside to eat. You can only eat them in there. Right, you need to find a sukkah for those sort of things. Meat and sundries. That's all good, baby. Yeah, any way you like. Candy, wherever you like. Yeah, let me find a picture of mine. Hang on. Oh, that's my wife. Look. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Stop screen. Share screen. Doink. There you go. That's mine. Mine's got like this permanent roofing. It's not permanent because if it's permanent, it's not kosher. So the slats, everything there's organic. So the slats, you can just take one out and put one in, right? And it's not nailed in. So that makes it kosher. But that's basically the deal. Yeah, you're supposed to live in these sort of things. So it's kind of like a spiritual incubator for your year, right? It's there's many things you do in the solar day, but that's the idea. It's like you created your year. You've like over the Jewish New Year and the Day of Atonement of those 10 days, and now this is a very like joyous time. People, you're supposed to take this week off and party, right? Which basically, I'm not doing that, but I'm like doing less work. So there's so it started yesterday, right? And it's also really weird because when you go, it's like Sabbath. So like everyone's in their suits, you know. They all go to synagogue. We got a big palm branch. It's crazy, yeah. I mean, can we find? We do a Google search for waving lulav. If ever you're in any cities you're in Israel, you'll find. My God, I just found the Jewish looking. Is that a character? No, that's really a person. Holy shit, that is a Jewish person I've ever seen. Okay, 1 second. There we go. That's good picture. I know it is. It's from a. We'll use that one as well. We have bigger pictures. These are all too small. Many Jewish man has heard those words. There you go. This is weird. All right, fine. This is a good picture. Doink. I'll show it. Yeah, this is about right. This is very accurate. Okay, here we go. Fine. Let me open up these pictures. Yeah, this. Doink. Dun 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 dun. Here we go. Share screen. So these are Hebrew. These are Hebrews. And they're checking these things called hadassim, which are not willow leaves, they're myrtle leaves, I think. Yeah, myrtle leaves. And they're checking them to see if they can find the most kosher version of them. Now, what do you do with them? Right? What do you do? You get that, you get a palm branch, and you get a willow leaves and a lemon-like thing. It cost me. My wife did really well. She got 3 sets for 280 shekels. So it's 7, 4, 8, 16, 20, 9, 18, about 90 shekels a piece. That's very good. Okay, because she got me like really good ones. She had to go into the center of like the super frummy town and like fight for it. So this is what it looks like. Okay, so this is what it is. Look at this guy. This guy is literally. I mean, that's got to be a fake nose, mate. Come on. Is that real? That is really the Jewish looking person ever. Really? I mean, dude. It looks like you're taking the piss. At me. Anyway, this is what it looks like in synagogue because you're gonna wave them, right? Anyway, but this is like even more complicated and terrible, called Hashanas. In the New Testament, when they're singing Hosannas, they're doing this. It's this thing where you go around the synagogue and you say like these 24 things that change. It's so complicated. Okay. It changes each day, but it also changes depending on what day it is. So if it's the first day of Succot on a Wednesday, you do this one. I'm like, oh, right. So I got the thing in my hand, my prayer book is there. Actually, I got smart. I made a small little paper, right? Instead of but I used to have my prayer book, man, my lemon, my palm brush. I got my prayer shawl on. This is me, right? I'm in the full regalia, right? I'm right there, right? I'm right there. Anyway, but I've never been this Jewish. Okay, I've never been that Jewish. Okay, take that back a bit. Okay, fine. That guy's very Jewish. What can you want me to tell you? That literally is. It's like a Muppet. Like a rabbi got hit with the Muppet ray. It's like, whoa, how's that happen? Anyway, I digress. So anyway, so you got to say these like the guy who's leading the prayer service, who he goes at the front, and you've got the Jews have got to try and make a Congo line behind him, right? So he goes Hoshana, Hoshana. It all starts with Hoshana, ends with Hoshana. Praise the Lord. So Hoshana, Hoshana. Right, that's how it starts. Right, I think save us, right? Please save us. It means Hoshana. Anyway, so then they get done, then you get. So then, yeah, it's watching the Jews go around the synagogue. It's very complicated, right? Very complicated, and we're not a coordinated people. We just aren't. Okay, we just aren't. So the first day of that was yesterday. So we did this like in business suits, and like these guys. Here's another picture. There you go. Actually, that's what you should know about Israel. The only place where it truly is multicultural is Israel, because you have Jews from freaking everywhere. You have French Jews, Russian Jews, Jews of every freaking color. American Jews. Anyways, that's going on in my life. So anyway, so that sets the scene, right? Let me set the scene. So then my wife wants to do a kiddush, for a few friends. The kiddush is when you invite people over. You have a little bit to eat. You have a little nibble, and then we give out nibbles. So we put out many herrings, many different herrings. Wasn't impressed with the herring. Right at the herring, my dentist friend who got it for us. It was who was also there. It's like, what's with the herring? What's going on? He actually bought the herring. It was like you had to the top. It was too many onions and oil. You had to dive down and find where's the herring? Where's the freaking herring, baby? Where's the herring? That's important. In a pot of herring, you want to get to the herring. But once you got the herring, it's really got the schmaltz was excellent. Okay? Really good. And if you had an olive from the schmaltz, it was like eating a anchovy and an olive together. It was really good. My wife made chili. And we're all outside in the sukkah. That's what you do. Was it chili and get awesome cornbread? Like, oh man, it's fantastic, right? What else was there? Cakes. My mother-in-law's here. My mother-in-law, my father-in-law passed away recently, so like my mother-in-law's like becoming part of the family, right? You know, it's like yes, of course you can come to us, you know, absolutely. So yeah, you have to go. So she was here for yesterday, right? And what else? I mean, lots of booze out in there and crackers for the herring and chips. Oh yeah, taco chips for the chili, cookies, cake. Am I missing out anything? I don't think I missed out anything. We didn't do the chulent, which is we'll probably do it if we do one in the winter, right? But anyway, so I'm at the kiddush, right? And there's a lot of synagogue politics that's going on, like a lot. And it's, you know what? It's crazy. You know what really sells the movie? The Englishman that went up the mountain and came down, went up the hill and came down a mountain. It's how incredibly seriously they all take it when the mountain is recategorized in the hill. Like cold meanings in it. Like what? No, it's so serious that it ends up being life and death, right? That's the synagogue politics, right? There's a lot going down, right? But through this, I think I've intuited, not intuited. Look, I've had this like. I've been trying to work out how people do things for a long time. Like if you have this value system, How is this action possible, right? Trying to work out people. That's actually why I really enjoy Westworld, right? Westworld is about what thought is and how one reasons and when one is actually making a choice and when one isn't. It's really fascinating, and that's really what I worked out. That I think anyway. Yeah, it's another layer of understanding that understanding when somebody's making a decision and when somebody's not making a decision, right? You have this core programming that you start off with, right? Depending on the society you're in, where you're from, you put these core values, right? And they kind of always dictate your behavior, but that's not really you thinking, right? That's just your core values acting and you deciding to keep them. I mean, you could be thinking and doing it, but mostly we don't, right? Mostly we're just following our loops, right? Which is why I freaking love Westworld. It's so clever, right? It's so clever. I mean, the more I think about it, the more impressed I am with it. I really love that show. Anyway, which is, again, that's the essence of what that show is what thought is, what sentient is, right? How we as human beings make decisions. So yeah, through this show politics, man, I think I got a bit of a handle. So here, let me share this. Doink. There we go. I'm gonna do some graphing. Share screen. So here I'm gonna open up Photoshop. Right. Now let me try and do this with a come open. Doink. Fine. Let me try and do this with my graphics tablet. That'll make life much easier if it'll let me do that. That'll be fan-dabby double dozy, right? Fan-dabby double dozy. So let's go with doink. We'll make it black. We'll start with black, right? So all human beings. Where is this thing? Here. Hang on, we'll move this over here. Put that over here. So it's like this. All human beings oscillate at a frequency, and their frequency is for each person is unique. It's how we perceive reality. It's the world, the world that we live in. I've had a lot of time to think. So we all have a freak. We're all like woo, woo, like that, right? And one person will be like that. One person woo, woo, woo. So oscillating roughly all within the same bandwidth, right? But there are and there's lots of them, but there are people who are like, whoa, whoa, who are outside that 60th percentile, right? So let's add a new layer. Hang on. Where's layers? Doink. Add a layer. Okay. So imagine this square as a totalitarian of humanity, right? Like everybody fits into this square. If you exist, you're in that square. Yeah, doink. I'll do that. So then you got this kind of that did not go well. Edit. Oh man. Oh yeah, I forgot. Photoshop doesn't like the graphics tablet. Dang, I should have used was it Clip Art Studio? Yeah, Photoshop's gonna be freaking out. That's what happened. Oh man. Anyway, if you look at that, this looks like a message from a serial killer. I just got full screen. Get out of there, Photoshop. Get out of there. Oh, well, should I open up yeah, okay, let's try Clip Studio Paint. That should do the trick. All right. Opening up. No, don't show me what's new. I don't care. Okay, we'll just go to new. That'll do. Doink. Let me share the screen. Let me find my browser. Can I scoot this down at all or not? There you go. Okay, nearly there. Center it. There you go. Yeah, that worked. Okay, fine. Let me share that screen. Share screen. Doink. Okay. So, get a pen there. 20. 100. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Marker. That's what I want. And make it about that big. That big. That big. Okay, fine. Maybe that big. So everybody has like this whoa oscillations, right? Everybody has their own frequency. Whoa. That's why everybody's different, right? Euler. Doink. Let me check this is sharing. Okay, that is sharing. Cool. Okay. This is what you do when you're off all day and you have to and you have time to think, right? So let's grab another color. Hello. Oh, yes, okay. Want that. There you go. Let's grab another color. Right. So let's say this box is the totality of humanity, right? You have this line here and this line here, right? Now, everybody inside this line represents the 60th percentile, right? Yeah, wrong one. Everybody, try again. Oh, come on. There you go. There you go. Everyone inside this line represents you're inside the 60th percentile, right? Schools and like mass education and things like that have to cater to this this group because this is where you can capture the most people, right? But there are people who are outside this, yeah, like this, right? Yeah, so you people who learn differently, people who are visual thinkers, and most sci-fi fans, like Doctor Who fans are outside that 60th percentile, right? So that's how human beings work. And the closer you are, let's do a third line, right? Doink. So the closer you are to the center of the 0% line, right? The straighter you are, I'll say here. We'll go let's do purple. There you go, purple. Right. The closer you are to this center line, the straighter you are, right? The more you hate people who are out here and out here. You know, people who look at the world differently, right? The more closer you are to the center, the more of an authoritarian you are, right? So that's basically a map of how humans work how we're working as as a society. But there's that 60th percentile in there. That's the one that you need to control. You need to capture. You need to go with, right? That's because that's the bulk of people, right? The reason that you are standing by on the sidelines, screaming impotently as we head towards God only knows what disaster, right? God does only know. Which seems to be manufactured to a certain extent for some insane reason, right? Which I have my theories on what the reason could be, right? How is this happening, right? How's this happening? It's because the people at the center line, right, managed to get off the radar of the people, of most people within the 60th percentile. You have to be able to see out the box to be able to see them, right? Otherwise, they're inoffensive and they don't really bother you. You know, because they don't hate you, right? Because you live in a shared reality, and if you're in the 60th percentile, you are not going to challenge that reality, right? You are, and so you're safe, right? If you're outside the 60th percentile, you're not safe, right? You're not safe, and the further out you get, the more the people in the center, the authoritarians, must destroy you to survive, right? That's essentially how it works. Now, how did I work all this out? It's through the insane machinations of synagogue politics, right? So, which I'm out of, right? I've decided my wife, but like my wife's out essentially, right? My wife, did so freaking much for the synagogue, and she couldn't care less now, like beyond couldn't care less. She needed the synagogue basically for our kids until they're grown. They're all grown up now. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't. There are a lot of friends who are like 5 years younger than us who are not who could go badly for. Probably it's aiming to go badly for, right? That's the thing. It's aiming to go very, very, very badly. But unless they take over, right? That's basically what's going to happen. Basically, what happened was we got in a spiritual leader who really wanted to be recognized as the spiritual leader and the only authority in all things. Which is that? Well, if someone's able to live up to that, that'd be very exciting. I have to say, I think that'd be very exciting. Sadly, he seemed a bit off to me, but he seems a lot more off to me when he started like violating biblical law in a very open public way, and like he essentially he smelled off to me, and I said, if he does what he's going to do, he's going to destroy our community, right? And now we are a few years later, and I think it's destroyed, right? Now, what do I mean destroyed? When I moved here, the synagogue was awesome, right? It was really, really awesome. It was what I found awesome about it was that there are many different types of Jews, right? Jews are very fractious, right? Very, very, very fractious, and they all hate each other. Right, if you're not in the exact same group, they will hate you. Right, and it's really weird, but yeah, it's like a group of like. If you ever seen Life of Brian, right? You have all the different Jewish groups fighting each other. That's right. That's exactly accurate, right? You don't know how funny that was. That is because that's 100% accurate. I mean, even Israeli uprising to gain control of Palestine at the time, which was a terrorist action. I'm not making any bones about that. What was I saying about even that had two groups that hated each other in it. It's like that's very, very, very true, right? That's very true. So what I really loved about it was that all types of Jews could feel not only welcome but felt welcomed, right? They felt at home. And it was incredible, right? It was truly, truly incredible, right? So what the reason I found it incredible is because in Jewish literature we're described as a kadosh, right? Which is kind of a self congratulation, because it means a holy nation. Now, what does that mean? Like, people go and take that, go, I feel pretty good about myself. Here's what I think it is trying to say. One of the things it's trying to say. That you do not get that holiness, right? That intrinsic holiness, unless you are a nation, right? Now, what does that mean? It means there's not going to be people just like you. There's going to be lots of different types of people, right? Lots of different, and people that you won't agree with, people that you dislike, right? That's what a nation is. There will be arseholes. There will be people who are wrong. There are people who are right when you're wrong, right? That's what being a nation is. Are people who see things this way, people who see things that way, right? And that's how it should be. Right? It should be a very disparate blend, right? And I liked it that disparate blend was always welcomed in the synagogue, right? So this spiritual leader made it not so. it very, very pointedly, right? Which is what I was my initial objection was. I said, which on it, look, dude, I tried to deal with it quietly in private. I sat and talked to him for hours, but in my estimation, it was a pride thing, right? In my estimation, he just couldn't deal with being wrong, and I think he lost his. I mean, look, he blew up his career about it. So, Which I'm sorry that happened, but like, dude, yeah, you gotta like take some responsibility for your own actions. Speaking of somebody who, in this situation very much did. Oh, the only person I think who did that, as it happens. Anyway, I digress. So, so yeah, it didn't work out well, and the community is so now. And people saying, yeah, it's just not the same anymore, right? They chased away. There was this group who were in the center line. It was the center line chased away the outward lines, right? Here, let's go back to that graph for a second. That very confusing graph that made sense at the beginning. Anyone? Wrong one. Share screen. Doink. Can I get rid of here? There you go. Fine. Let me actually get rid of this and this. Fine. So we got, these are the different frequencies of people. This is the percentile lines. The everything inside these red lines is in the 60th percentile. That's what the majority of that's what mass education is aimed at. And really, they just have the resources to do that with the way they're doing education, which I think, education needs a fundamental reboot. But anyway, as I said, and everybody outside of the lines, the more individualistic thinkers, right? So the people who exist in the center, the closer to the center, the more authoritarian you are, right? So that's the purple line. The closer you are to the center, the more authoritarian you are. But the let me make this a bit lighter. I made it a bit better. The closer you exist to the center, the more authoritarian you are. But the and the further you go, away from the center, the more out of the box you are, more bonkers you are. So basically, what happened was the people in the center, right, the real authoritarians who are all clocking on. Well, anyway, so they chased out, which I found so awful. Right, I found it so awful. They chased out people on the outside, right, who were mainly manifested as people less observant, like less ritualistically observant. I wouldn't say less observant, less ritualistic of it, which I think is just an abhorrence. I mean, okay, as much as JHodie Whittaker is the antithesis of what Doctor Who is, that is what the antithesis of what Judaism is, right? So I was like, so it blew my mind. So I've been processing this for a long time. So anyway, so this all came up because they're talking about they finally the spiritual leader was let go. He wasn't let go. His contract ran out and they didn't renew it. So it wasn't. But for the people who live around here, that's the biggest deal ever, right? That is the biggest deal ever. Okay, if you say so. It seems to be what happened. He went to, and like he desecrated the Torah publicly. It's in a huge way. It was, that he's able to go to any synagogue at all, which I believe they do. There are signs up prohibiting going in anywhere, called being in Hayrim. Right, that isn't happening. I don't understand it. I know I do understand it. Here's what I understand. That that basically every apart from me said this guy's A-okay, and they all have egg over their face is what happened. And there's zero mea culpa. I mean, zero. Anyway, so I was trying to work out how does this happen? How do you go counter to literally the word of God? If you believe it, right? If you don't believe it, that's fine. If you don't believe it, that's absolutely fine. So the answer is this graph, right? Let me share this again. And also the answer to this is how we're heading to, like, how the authoritarians of the world, the Trudeaus, the Bidens, have control over us, right? It's incredible. Because the things only have to appear normal for the 60th percentile. Yeah, we put get a new layer. Yeah, we'll do a new color, and let's make it multiply. There you go. Yeah, a nice big brush. Oh, a bit too big. There you go. And we'll go Where'd you go? Come back. Oh, did I press the wrong button then, maybe? No, I did. Hang on. Oh, I use the eraser. That will always make it hard, right? To draw a line. Okay, fine. We just doing it to multiply. Doink! And we get a nice highlighter. Boink. Okay, fine. Things only have to appear normal or stay off the radar of the people within the 60th, within that yellow block, right? Right? If you're outside that yellow block and you see weird shit going down, then people in the yellow block don't give a damn. Now, that's true of anything we see in the world now, right? Like, most people, if you stop and say, "Hi, can I show you these pictures of transgender surgeries people are posting online?" You know, or can I show you like the drag shows or the teachers that people go, and they actually sit and they watch it. They go, "Oh my god, that's awful." How? What? How? Most people in that 60th percentile will absolutely do that, right? But there's one other factor: social conditioning, right? But getting them to sit down and notice, right? It's like so the super authoritarians in the center, they are controlling the 60th percentile. They're controlling it, maybe even more by social media, right? I was talking to this is how I know everything's going, because I was talking to a neighbor of mine in the kiddish, right? And then we agree on most things, right? And then he started putting out this political narrative that I knew he didn't really believe in, right? I was like, oh, this guy's a bad guy. And like I said, no, it's not. And I realized it's a Fox News thing, right? It's because all corporate media is bad. All corporate media is evil. Don't go near corporate bloody media. Understand it's entertainment only. It's not news. And it's all different levels of control, including Fox News, right? They might have stuff on it you like. There's stuff on Disney Plus you like too. Right? It's they're all just levels of control, right? We're all level of control. So the level of control in this case here in the synagogue, which again is really bizarre, is social conditioning, right? People grew up with a social conditioning. We all grew up with social conditioning, right? So the social conditioning they grew up with was based on Judaism, based on Torah, but it wasn't 100% accurately ported over. I think it's a fair way of saying it. Oh, maybe not that. It was like, maybe this is a beta test that never happened, and this is the first time this kind of beta test happened. I don't know. This is a strange situation, right? Because you have this social conditioning, again, based on ritualistic Judaism, which is, I'm on board for, baby, right? I mean, I don't mind if you're not, but personally, I do ritualistic. I think it's, I see the point in it. But anyway, but it came into conflict with actual core Judaism. We call it Torah, right? So we had the spiritual leader who violated the core principles publicly. I mean, like, in such a profound way, over and over again, right? It's it really is breathtaking. It's absolutely breathtaking. It's look, for me particularly. For me, it was like when it started raining for Noah. I'm like, oh really? Who's full of shit now? People didn't like that. So the weird thing is, this is why I love having a YouTube channel. I can't mention this like in open public because it might upset somebody to say, "Oh, this happened," when it happened, right? But that's how it is. So anyway, there's the reason the synagogue politics, right? And again, from this thing of synagogue politics, I think I came on a thread. That's important to understand the whole freaking nature of society. It's like I would say, always be looking for stuff like that. There's they're looking to bring in a new a spiritual leader, this new position, and the people, okay, the people who said are heading this up thus far. One of them anyway is like the center line, like the authoritarian of the authoritarian, who was completely responsible for the last one, who was a disaster, right? Who was, I mean, in any, there's no metric where you can go, oh, that went well. No, it was a disaster, right? A disaster, right? Anybody who had anywhere near that shouldn't be anywhere near it again, right? It was like, so that's why I'm like, I don't give a shit. I mean, like, okay then, you know, I mean, honestly, it's not my problem, mate. I need a place to go pray. I'm happily sitting, and that I finally worked out. Man, it's kind of like I morphed, I regenerated totally into the grumpy old man prayer group, right? I'm in the grumpy old man group. We're at 7:15 in the morning in a little ass room. Leave us alone, okay? We're the grumpy old man group. Leave us alone, okay? Why we going? Because our kids are grown up and we don't give a shit anymore. Just like we need a place to pray. Leave us alone, right? Stop it with your stupid rules, okay? Whatever you want to do, we're not impressed, right? That's me. That's me. I don't, whatever. Yeah. Here's the thing. They want to get a new one of these guys. Fine. Just don't be an arsehole. And don't violate the central precepts of Judaism. It's two things your predecessor failed to do. I mean, honestly, from a like the metric level of complete certainty. And stay out of my way. Okay, I mean, like, don't be too in my way, right? It's like I'm happy being. Look, you're a nice guy. I'll get to know you after 15 years. Okay, that's the plan. I mean, I'm one of the grumpy old men. Leave me alone, right? But anyway, that's the so during the kiddish, right? I was I got to finish the story, man. There was somebody who's a little bit younger than me, right? Not much younger, a little bit younger than me, and they still need a synagogue for the kids. They still need that cohesive synagogue thing that will like provide community services that will affect their kids, right? And so like I'm very happy that they like steamrolled onto the committee, right? I'm like, so I was listening, I was like, oh, so here's the thing though. Here's the point that I'm waiting to happen. There is meltdown beyond meltdowns. I can't see a way meltdown beyond meltdowns aren't going to come, right? I'll tell you exactly how. As I said, I can't really go and speak in public and say the things we all saw and heard without like to happen very publicly, right? Our like eyes and ears. If we believe how if we speak about it, right? The arseholes in the center who have egg all over their face, right? They will have a meltdown. We're not allowed to. I don't know what will happen. But they're close to meltdown. Like, I understand. Okay, it's like reality's reality, whether you like it or not, right? One of them almost started. That's the other thing. Oh my God, one of them almost started a fist fight in synagogue. Of the beginning of this thing, he was like, that was insane, right? Oh God, and no one's going to say anything, right? No one's going. You know why? He's in the 60 percentile. 60 percentile is like, yeah, fine, yeah. The 60 percentile, the ones outside it will go, what? Nobody listens to us, right? We go to the grumpy old man prayer group, but that's how the world is being controlled, by the 60th percentile. You gotta watch out for that. That's essentially that's why that's why they're so intent on controlling culture. You can't control culture, baby. That's the thing. You can. I mean, you can try until real culture appears. When culture appears, like real culture appears, it like sprouts and like grows into something huge instantly, right? And crushes and destroys the fake culture. I mean, you saw the yeah, like you saw how the MCU's failing, right? It's all fake culture, right? Yeah, the corporate memes. It's fake culture. Real culture, when you say, and they're keeping it to the press, real culture blooms. Well, sometimes you get lucky and you get House of the Dragon, which is awesome. Oh my God, House of the Dragon, awesome. Paddy Considine and JHodie Whittaker are the opposite human beings, right? Paddy Considine took a show that was dead, and it was really damn like I couldn't give a shit about Game of Thrones. Leave me alone, right? I was like the old man, the old man prayer group, right? Leave me alone, right? And couldn't care less, and made me care about it again with just this insanely beautiful, layered, rich performance. And it's gorgeous. I was gonna say, if he doesn't win an Emmy for it, who gives a shit about the Emmys? They're garbage. Leave me alone. If he doesn't get a lot more work that he wants from it. It's such a beautiful performance. He creates the character, right? He created the show. He created the franchise, right? And I think they got another franchise. Like, I think the Dance of Dragons could go a good few seasons, right? I think they might be onto a winner. Certainly it looks nice. It looks like it's going to be freaking good, and there's a lot they can do. I'm reading the history again. I'm like, and I know I'm reading the spoilers. I don't give a shit. I'm like, it's fun. Right, it's fun, it's well done, and yeah, I love the tragedy of it, right? The inevitable tragedy of it and the avoidableness of it. It's all very J.R.R. Martin at its best. I think it's excellent. All right, I mean, absolutely excellent. But as the Paddy Considine, he creates that role. He created the role. He creates the show. Now he is the inverse of JHodie Whittaker. I mean, literally the inverse of JHodie Whittaker, who took an incredible, rich franchise, like a beautiful, vibrant, rich franchise, and destroyed it. Turned into Game of Thrones, destroyed it. Literally destroyed. They are the absolute opposite. So we are going to have fun reading her interview. And you say, I think that's where we're going to start. After we get to chat, we are going to get to Game of Thrones. 60 percentile, man, right? 60 percentile. That's how wild it is. And I guess algorithms has worked all this out as well. But anyway, I was going to say World War III is about to happen, because again, we are not allowed to say what the spiritual leader did, right? Because they're in denial. They're like, no, that didn't happen. All right, we kind of did, and it wasn't like in a vacuum. It wasn't like the only time he violated the Torah. This just had to be a desecration of Jewish principle, right? Of Judaism. So publicly. It's okay, whatever. I was going to say, so you're going to have people on this. There's the person on committee is like in the center line. They're in denial, and they're not allowed to say, this person coming, I don't give a shit. I'm not. I could steamroll on. I can't leave me alone. I don't give a shit. Do what you want. But this person is I have a lot of respect for. I think they're great, and I think they can very, very clearly, forcefully, passionately are going to say, no, let's stick to reality, shall we? Right? Because there was so much. Oh my God, there was so much dirty cheating and politics by the center percent. They didn't care about what's right and wrong, and it's incredible. They destroyed the community. Take no accountability whatsoever. So much so, there's literally nearly a fist fight in the middle of the fucking synagogue. First night of Succot by one of these people. Ugh. No, and if I ever did that happen to me, there will be letters of condemnation. Oh, the worst thing, because I'm way on the outside, right? I'm one of the bonkers people, right? But I tell you, hard rain's gonna fall, mate. Hard rain's gonna fall. Oh no, I don't know. Like I was listening to this expert about. Oh, I do have a local expert that's coming on soon. Talk about the world military situation. Someone actually knows what they're talking about. But I was listening to this one person saying that the likelihood of America and Russia exchanging nukes is a small one. The likelihood of Russia using tactical nukes to wipe out the Ukrainian infrastructure, high. And we're talking like small, like is it Fat Man? The first test one was about 15 megaton, I think. Right, so it could be like a 1 megaton. Could be like a real small tactical nuclear attack. That can happen, right? And if America then launches a nukes at Russia in retaliation, that's crazy. At that point it's mad. At that point it's nuclear sure destruction. That's why it's not going to happen. But here's the thing. This is being done, I think, to make Biden look tough before the midterms, to make him look good before the midterms. But I think it's being a stage managed by like incompetent nincompoops, which I think. So I think the chance of it being a whoops apocalypse, quite a good one. Well, wrong thing. Hang on. Doink. Let's get some mic and then we'll get to the chat. An hour in, I should say hello. That's me for you. Nothing but polite. That's what I am. There we go. Doink. Oh, we got to get this. Doink. There you go. I'm so dedicated to me acting me. Darling, you could have convincingly faked an orgasm, let alone professionally act. She's so shit. Doctor Who might be on Fortnite. Okay, I think I've done the story. I don't give a shit. I'm an old man. I keep telling you, I'm a grumpy old man. I don't play fucking Fortnite. Oh, do I have to play Fortnite now? I don't want to play Fortnite. I don't like it. Leave me alone. Is it going to be JHodie? If it's going to be JHodie, piss off. I'll look at it. Oh, look at the story. That was me with my cat this morning, by the way, Ninja, right? Ninja was a bit of a naughty kitty this morning. I'm super nice to Ninja, right? Super bloody nice. I take him outside every morning so he can stretch his little paws in the open air, play around in the garden, because he's not allowed out on his own because he's a blind cat, right? So he's not allowed out, and I want him to be able to have a bit of outdoors, right? I have more compassion the less agency you have, right? As a blind cat has zero agency, I'll take you outside for half hour, okay? Sorting out. I guess I got to do it. So I didn't want to do it today because I was late because it's extra long prayers today, and we start late today because it's Succot, right? This is the other bit of Succot. It goes for a full week. So I was like, oh, okay, fine. Took him outside, and he was coming in. Then he was like, oh, I'm going to go out again. He darted back down the stairs. I had to go and get him. I was like, oh, Ninja, I'm mad at you now. I'm mad at Ninja, right? So I get Ninja. Cute little kitty he is. I bring him in. I make my coffee. I'm all pissed off. Right. And the cat comes up and goes, meow. I said, Ninja, you're not getting any milk. I normally give him a little saucer of milk in the morning. Because, when we come in, why not? Hey, I have a coffee. You can have a little bit of milk. I'll give the dog a treat. It's all cool, baby. We all have a good morning. That's the plan, right? So anyway, I'm like, no, I'm not giving you milk because you're a naughty kitty. Meow. No, I'm not doing it. Meow. No. Meow. No, I'm really not. Meow. So I'm thinking to myself, does the cat have a conception of being a naughty kitty? Or was he just running around? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know, but I don't want to be a softie. It's bad for the cat. Meow. Oh, bollocks. I'll give you a milk thing, Ninja. That's essentially what happened, right? That's essentially what happened this morning. It was a bit quicker than that. Like me trying to get to the chat. Darren M, how you doing, sir? Thank you for joining. Lottie, I haven't seen you for a while. How you doing? Thank you for joining us. Mr. Jekyll and Hyde, how are you, sir? Matt the Silent, down with JHodie. Says Matt the Silent. Paul Tozen is here. How you doing? Going through the chat. I'm at the point we started. Okay. I recorded a thing about them trying going over the trailer, trying to build up it was this video, trying to build up interest, and it's just like it's not possible. She'll media definitely try and generate excitement for Chibnall and Whittaker's finale. Please watch the show. Don't invalidate our fanatical support with more epically low ratings. Nah, please do that. Please do that. This came out yesterday, beating a dead timeless child. Yes, I know. Screen Rant continues to obsess about Jodie and Whittaker's failed Doctor Who retcon. I love it when you have like the crazy Jodie fans share these things, guys, and say, "Look at this heresy!" Ah! I haven't had that for a while, but I love it when they do that. It's so much fun. This is stunning. This is brave, and this is the best thing that happened to Doctor Who ever. Bigot. No, it's shit. Not shit. It's Westworld. Love Westworld. Just started season 3. Absolutely adore it. Absolutely adore it. By the way, first night Succot, that's when we do the Thanksgiving meal. It was turkey stuffing, cornbread stuffing, sweet potatoes with marshmallows fluff. Oh, it's good. Pecan pie. Oh, so good. I keep thinking, if I'm just going to die of a heart attack right here, it's kind of worth it. All makes sense. This, I think, is tomorrow. The real-time rewriting of history to protect the Jodie Whittakers. Failed legacy as Doctor Who. I'm trying to get the word fail in as much as possible. I want to try and subconsciously brand that for you, right? So that's the way it is. Jodie are the bestest ever. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. That's just what all the papers are saying. That's true. Oh, please give us something in mithril. I'll suck your dick. This is basically what it is. Like the gayest Elrond ever. Although, admittedly, this version of Elrond never needs much encouragement to suck a dick. It's so shit and so boring. This is the most boring Star Wars show ever made. It seems to be put together completely from deleted scene. Yeah, I don't give a shit about this side of the galaxy, right? I don't give a shit about them going to the Star Wars Tesco's. Fuck off. Give me some fucking lightsabers, you cunts. What the hell? That's my review of Star Wars Andors. Fuck off. Give me some fucking lightsabers, you cunts. That's good. You quote me on that. That really is my review of Andor, right? That really definitely is. Oh, boring as hell. There we go. Jonathan Cox is here. How you doing? The little purple gorilla is so cute. Where's my computer making beeping sounds? I don't know what that means. I hope I don't have a little computer. I keep thought they think I'm crazy. I think I have to be crazy to do this, mate. Yeah, it's probably true. Hang on. Wave offerings. Oh no, this wave offerings different. That's when you do sacrifices. Judaism is basically a sacrificial religion. You go to the temple to have a steak in thanks for things. That's essentially the biggest thing. So the priest waves the sacrifice in a different way before he puts it onto the altar. There's so much weird shit going on with that. Okay, there's so much precise thing. There's one where you got to sacrifice a bird, but you have to do it with your nail, which is sharpened, And it's all done to be painless and but it's when you got to put the blood over here and there is weird shit. Okay, weird shit. Speaking from somebody who knows. Okay, Jedi Jews. Okay, I'm talking about Succot and Jewish is here. It really is like it's. And then the amount of work you do beforehand to get the good, make sure you get kosher lemon and stuff like that. It's just crazy. Oh God, why have I still got Andor up here? I'm bored even looking at that. Oh, boring cunt. Yes, this week in Andor, they go to Tesco's and literally it's a. I'm just going to get the blue milk. That is Andor. Boring piece of shit. We go. Fine, let's get through that. Monkey Magnesium, say hello to you. Let's keep going though. Philip Bogart is here. Don't Bogart that Philip again. What's that song again? Don't Bogart. That was the third one. I always wanted to know what that meant. In what was that movie? Easy Rider, right? Don't Bogart that. Yeah, it was Bogart, right? Okay, yeah, okay. This is the etymology of the word Bogart, right? Bogart means when you take long draws from a joint, right? Go. Now, why? Where's that come from, right? So, Bogart is from Humphrey Bogart, the famous actor who was known for taking a good long, hard toke on his cigarette. Don't Bogart that. That's where it comes from. So there you go. I hope you're related, Philip. You're being Kanye. Well, there you go. Look, he's got a whole new audience. He's decided he wants the audience who has money and doesn't want to burn down the police. Matt Simon says 14 Dr. Abbott and makes him look like a Dracula. They kind of did that with the what's the name doctor? The Schalke doctor. Schalke's dead. Man, they killed that. Pretty good, stone dead. Ebby's here. How you doing? Thank you for joining us. Is your avatar on you? See if I can see what to work out what it is. It looks like a furball, sort of Furby to me. DC, I think I said it. The truth is here. The Synagogue of Satan. Well, there you go. The BBC is better than anything the BBC has. Oh, that is true. That is true. You're not far wrong there. A screenshot is map for a psychiatrist for a friend of mine. Where do I have my map to a psychologist? I had downloaded the soundtrack of Doctor Who's in season 1, 2, 3, 4 on specials from Amazon. Very good. Actually, I love it. That's one of the main. I'm trying to put together. I'm trying to have it ready for Thursday. That's the next thing. Thursday. You go and visit your friends and your family. I'm going to go to I have to go to my sister's. I might be invited my sister. I'm happy to go to my sister's to sit in her Succot and have lunch, have a late lunch. But then I got to be back by 5, right? But I hope to have by Thursday The Haunting of Villa Dildo ready to go to do a deep dive review, right? That's my plan. That's my hope. That's my dream. That's my nightmare. One second. One second. Somebody asked me about cool restaurants in Jerusalem. I'm like, dude, I'm hardly there. Actually, I'll ask my wife. If you're a secular Jew accepted by other Jewish people, yeah, exactly. That's the thing. We all should be. We're all one baby. That's what holiness is, by having unity in our differences, right? We're not all one, right? And again, that's really what my synagogue was, which I think is why it was so holy, right? Here we go. Keep going through the chat. I'm about half hour behind. It's not bad. Not bad. It's science. So my Substack. Oh, that reminds me. Yes, you're getting. If you don't have it, what's it? The Imperium that's going out this month of my paid Substack. $5. $5. It's yours, baby. Me love you long time. You know that. Yeah, very good. So okay, fine. I'm trying to see if anybody's talking to me. I will vote Labour rather than a centrist government than this crowd. They're all the same. Okay. Here's your choice in England, right? You got It just depends which corporate establishment that you want to be. You want to be a slave to. Do you want to be a slave to there's basically two, right? Which one do you want to be a slave to? Right, and they're the same, right? Labour wants to be a slave to the Iranian, Russian, Chinese alliance, and the Conservatives wants to be a slave to the Facebook European social media alliance, right? Essentially, printing money for the military complex, the military industrial complex, and the pharmaceutical industry, just like as a way of printing money off our backs, right? Yeah, honestly, I mean, I think everybody in England should. The only one I ever thought was any good was not Nigel Farage. Right. Actually, not true. I think Thatcher was good. I think Thatcher was good. Was good for the country. I think somebody lived through it. I think there was an overall good with Thatcher's run, right? And we should have stuck with her for longer, quite frankly. I think just in terms of more people were more affluent. We're happier, more affluent. But in England, you're screwed, right? You're absolutely screwed. I've never. What's his name? I always thought Rees Mogg sounded like he was genuine, but I've no idea. I really have no idea. You know, I would like somebody who was actually believes something and what actually has a vision. You know, and not a let us just please be a vassal state to whatever weird group you want to milk us all for money for, right? Like actually has that. That's why I like Nigel Farage, right? So you know, it's in England, I think you're screwed. Essentially, fine. Let's get to a bit of JHodie. Inches nice. Yeah, let's have a quick. I'll just quickly refresh the news. If there's any new news stories. No, still the same one. Good. Oh, you little diamond, JHodie. I can't believe that you're giving me this. Comedy gold. Icky thump. Comedy gold. Blimey, that's a big one. Okay, the you leaning forward intelligently thing doesn't really sell us now that you've padded around as a buffoon for years on end, right? I can have Tom Baker leaning intelligently. You can't, right? You look. I've seen your acting, and I think it belies your intelligence level, and I think it's low. Okay, I don't know how to be more straight with you than that, right? I do not know how to be more straight with you than that. Right, let's get to this. JHodie Whittaker saying goodbye to Doctor Who. Oh, it's left it Imrex. Oh, just how I wanted it. I thought, what if I've ruined this for actresses? You have, you stupid woman, by doing no research, by being miscast. Listen. You may have been miscast, right? That's true. But anybody can overcome. You could have overcome, right? You could have done better. I'm sorry, but you didn't, right? And your work's been an embarrassment, and you just believe your own press, and it's ridiculous, right? It's just ridiculous. As she gears up for a final, as a final answer, the first female Doctor. The actor also reflects on how her life has changed, becoming a subject of fan fiction. And what happens when a weeping angel comes to life? Okay, he weren't a weeping angel. That was just it was so disappointing. Okay, good cliffhanger. You turning into Weeping Alien. Why didn't you give that to Paul Cornell? Like, Paul Cornell, douchebag like you, could have come right? Unlike you, right? You say, oh, you just grab the cliffhangers, right? You have cool cliffhangers. He can actually write them into something not shit. Not you. You're not up for it, Jim. No, I've seen your work. It's garbage. JHodie Whittaker made history in Doctor Who when she took a shit all over it for 5 years. When she took over from Peter Capaldi again, the 13th Doctor in Doctor Who, making her the first woman to ever play the Time Lord. With 2 hearts, she grew up near Huddersfield, West Yorkshire. I didn't know, really. You hardly ever mention it, darling, right? It's hard. I mean, it hardly ever becomes up as a thing at all, doesn't it? West Yorkshire, she says, really emotional. What does that mean? She grew up near to what? What does that mean? Really emotional. Really emotional. She said was really emotional. I mean, okay, here let's start from the beginning. JHodie Whittaker made history in 2017 when she took over from Peter Capaldi and became the 13th Doctor in Doctor Who, making her the first woman to ever play the time-traveling alien with 2 hearts. She grew up near Huddersfield, West Yorkshire, and she says, really emotional. Okay, now I've got the as is. That's the important bit. Yes, really emotional. Okay. You're emotional, darling. I mean, we all think we're really emotional, right? I don't know. A trait she turned to good use for the harrowing parts, most famous from Broadchurch. You were a side character. So had to scrunch up your forehead. There was a nothing part, okay? You're not, okay. Doctor Who is the show that found you out. And we found out you can't act, okay? I'm sorry. I'm sorry you found that out. But we have indeed found that out. Where she played a grieving mother alongside David Tennant himself, 10th Doctor. We all know. Everyone knows David fucking Tennant, mate, okay? Everyone knows David Tennant. Ugh. Doctor in the Ass, nobody gives a shit about. When Broadchurch Creation took over Doctor Who as Doctor Who showrunner, she said that casting was Whittaker was a no-brainer. Well, she was your second choice, at least. Right? You wanted what's the name first? What's the name? What's the bloody name? The Crown. Crown season 3. What's the bloody? Let's see what who stars in that. What's the name? Tell me a name. No, nowhere. Oh, there we go. Olivia Colman. Thank you. Olivia Colman is your first choice, darling. Right? All right? No-brainer. It was no-brainer because I didn't put any thought in it whatsoever. Yeah, we understand. No-brainer. That's a description of how much thought you put in it. It was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer because I got no brain. So that's how we came up with her casting. I have no brain. She's a no-brainer. Okay, that's not what it normally means, Chris. Oh, really? I didn't know that. The first news came out in 2018. This year revealed that the 2 of them had a 3 years and out pact. No, you were lying. Yeah, we'll say we had a 3 years and... No, you were lying. I know you're lying. You said you had a 5-year plan. So were you lying then or lying now? I think you're lying now, right? I think you're lying now because your face is covered in egg, right? I think you're lying now, right? Yes. 3 years and out pact. In July, they announced they will be leaving the show. Well, in all fairness, in February of the not July, it was February last year, right? In February, was it this year? This year now she's leaving, or last year? I think it was last year, right? In February last year, it was February 2021 that the Mirror said they were leaving, right? And then they didn't confirm it till after their Comic-Con appearance, right? They actually could. I'm like, what? How do they actually have information that they don't? I'll tell you how, right? I mean, okay, they have information that they don't give out. The trailer looked good, right? They could have rolled that out a month early, 2 months early, right? That would have generated buzz, right? I think they should have done that. But why didn't they roll it out? No, but why don't they? What was I going to say? Oh man, I lost my train of thought. Yeah. So why didn't they actually use what they have to market themselves, right? Then that leaving because they're idiots. That's the only reason I can work out that they're idiots, and also they're just so ashamed of what they've done. They're so scared of being ridiculed because they know they're going to get ridiculed because they've done a terrible job, and they know they've done a terrible job, right? I'm sorry that you have. God, it's not like people like me weren't screaming at you not to do that, right? I gave you so many options on how to make it better. And no, we got to be stunning. We got to be brave. Yeah, I mean, really good. You're also a laughing stock, and I don't think it's any coincidence that you don't have your new job yet, right? I don't think it's any coincidence at all. Fine. So no brainer. The first is came 20, and they'll be leaving it out after three specials, which will air in 2022, where Russell T Davies will return. Oh no, where Russell T Davies will return as a new and a new Doctor will take over on Whittaker. Her final full series of Doctor Who, subtitled Flux, ends on December 5th. What? This is from this week. What's the date on this? Oh, man. This is from a year ago. Fine. There's even more reason. Let's see how this aged. Oh, my God. Even better. Oh, my God. Okay, fine. This is going to have a bit of... because I was like, how has she not put out any interviews? God, this is from how long ago? This was like December, right? Man, this is like the last time she spoke about it. In summer, you said you thought you're filled with grief at the end of your run. We're delighted, darling. It's been a few weeks since you filmed your last scene as the Doctor. How are you feeling? I've literally just got off the floor with Mandip. Oh, we had a bit of 4 and 6. We did. Oh, because we're very fluid. We are, as we also were after our phone sex. So please, I don't want to know. No, we were very gushy. Oh, Icky thought. Yeah, really, I think you should know. We really don't want to know. No, let me tell you this. There's a point where I reach my clitoris. No, please. Okay, fine. Let's put brevity. Let's move on. It's been 4 years of my life. My grief is saying goodbye. Goodbye to one job is one thing. But I won't feel it till the end. It's until it's the end. Okay, it's right now, darling. It's the everydayness of the people and the atmosphere in this group. Oh, I find myself monologuing at various people on WhatsApp. I checking to see they miss me. Oh, you miss me? Do you miss me? Do you miss me? Like, oh, I bet you do. I bet you miss me. Mandibet had to take the blue checks off because I'm exhausted. You are, darling. So here, this actually leads me to an interesting point. Where is it? Let me find this tweet. There we go. Noel of Tarda Zone tweeted this and really makes a very, very, very good point, right? Really, this is fascinating. Hang on, slide. We keep pressing the wrong thing. Share screen, Chrome tab. Yeah. So check this out, okay? Now I've lost what screen I'm on. There, I'm on this screen. Let's enlarge this, right? For a production team banged on about space for all, inclusion and diversity, doesn't really take advice. Look at this. He's absolutely correct. This is crazy. They're all white. They're mostly white men and privileged women. Okay, and like, what the hell? And they're young. It's not like, oh no, these are seasoned pro. These are all young. Like, what the hell? This is not diverse in any way, shape, or form, is it? There you go. This is all white people. Maybe that's the natural demographics of. No, actually, I think they're actually under. Right, but like, why is it only important to have black people in front of the camera? right? I'll tell you why, because they're full of shit. That's why. It's incredible. It really is absolutely incredible. Back to the article. Window doink. Fine. Fine. Because I'm exhausting. Yeah, God, Amanda Gill says she wants to shoot herself rather than talk to you. That's pretty bad, right? That's pretty bad. It's only a drawn out farewell because Flux ends and you still got 3 specials. Once I've decided on the next Doctor, once they've decided on the next Doctor and announce that, then it'll be really come real. Well, that's happened, right? The way they shot the last day was brilliant because they shot it in order. We never do that. Well, I never know what's going on. I'm always very confused. I bet you are, darling. I bet you are. I knew my last shot would be my last shot. I felt, okay, fine. We heard she cried all the time. I don't mean to say, I mean this in a patronizing sense, she said. Do you know how you'll feel when there's a new Doctor? I don't mean this in a patronizing sense. That's the only sense you have, darling. Your super patronizing sense is the only sense you have. But I think it's more like maternal. Oh, it's mine. Let me be a Karen mum. Even if they're 20 years older than me, there'll be a thing of knowing. Yeah, I'm gonna have the best time. We're gonna smash it. You didn't smash it. You screwed up relentlessly. Like, you did a really bad job, JHodie. You're even doing a bad job smiling in that picture. You look very forced, right? You don't carry yourself like the Doctor. You carry yourself like a companion's mum. That's somewhat annoying. So it's not yours anymore, darling. Leave us alone. Christian said that you and Mandy have a secret video for the crew, which what did that involve? Oh, well, a few selfies while we're alone in private. What doing what? No, nothing. Well, having sex. Okay. That's never going to see the light of day because nobody gives a shit, right? I'm quite into a power ballad, so it was a music video that we shot on location after work one night. It was absolutely pissing down. Fuck me, darling. I mean, like, you have so little class. It's unbelievable. It's like really pissing down. Okay, darling. We roped a couple of other people into it who were sworn to secrecy. We want to do a cheesy goodbye. Oh, I hope I do see that. With photos from the last 4 years. God, leave us alone. I am an excellent lip syncer. Well, thank you. Oh God, you think you're good at you think you're an actress as well, darling? Oh, how long is this going for? Oh jeez. Oh my God. Okay, let's look at the stories that you like. The questions that sound like they're going to be interesting. It must have had a lot of pressure. It must have felt a lot of pressure at the time, right? It's so much more than a part. Okay, we can read this. It really was. It was fancy dress as well. And I all go out and I really. Oh God. Oh, I can only JHodie so much. Really, I really can. This is long. The most heightened point of put us was Madison Square Garden and Comic Con. That was your easiest. That was okay. The reason you had the most pressure at Comic Con in 2018 is because that's the only time you interacted live with fans before they saw the shit that you took on Doctor Who, right? You've been completely isolated from the fan maybe since you saw that. Let me see. Let's see. Okay, she's talking about being a woman. Being a woman, Doctor Who. Really, darling? How are you talking about? The very first episode was being shown live in front of a massive audience. I sat next to my husband, and and absolutely, God, I just thought, this is a crowd of Whovians that are really excited and full of love and support. And it was like, what if we pitched so badly wrong? You did. What if we've ruined it what if I've ruined it for actors? You have. You have. Because I know full well, when lads were cast in the part, they weren't representing men. Exactly. Exactly. You're representing women because you're representing women. You're making the active... You and Chris Chibnall made the active choice to represent women rather than to be an actor. You could have just been an actor, right? You could have actually done this part and looked at it and thought of it and trying to work it out. You could have done that. You could have done that. But no, right? Absolutely not. They weren't representing men because women have it so much harder in every single way. They were representing their own special personal casting. You were cast because you're a woman. You were, I mean, literally, you were cast because you're a woman, right? And you're not the, you weren't the first choice, and you did a very bad job, right? Other than that, awesome. The way it was described in every news outlet was not, can Jodie Whittaker play the part? It was, it's a woman, because that's how you framed it. You controlled that narrative. Yes, it was like that because that's all you fucking talked about. Oh my God! Why are you bringing up a woman? Because it's the only thing you fucking said over and over and over again. What the hell? Right? I mean, honestly, what the hell? That's crazy. It's like I suddenly thought, have I hindered us? Have I held us back? Yes, because we filmed the first series and I loved it. You were shit in it, and the series was shit. I really felt confident all the way through. Well, see, that's another sign you're an idiot. It was awful. I mean, I'm just from a very, very standard creative, competency level. It was awful. There was plot holes. It was poorly thought through. So many things that have been done badly. It was boring. You had no villains in it. It was your villains you did have that you invented were all bad. It was preachy. It was a failure, right? Yes, you did well in your first episode, and then people said, "No, thank you." It was a failure. You did do that. I mean, very clearly, openly failed, right? I don't know. So I suddenly thought, because she said for a compliment. Then there's a moment you go, oh God, icky thump. I don't think the backlash to the Doctor being one was necessary there in the way, and that some anticipated though. Oh really? I'm glad you're honest. Blimey, no bras in the TARDIS or stuff like that. No, there wasn't. There was noise about everything, and that's not the only kind of thing that affects me, Dave. And that's not the kind of thing that affects me there today. What people think of your job, which is you've done a terrible job, right? You soon, as soon as the first episode goes out, it's either your cup of tea or it's not. It's not cup of tea or not. It's shit. It's incompetent shit. I mean, you might like incompetent shit. I mean, honestly, I think most things my wife watches fits into that. Yeah, but I know. Then it was you realize you're not representing anyone of yourself. Then you represent yourself poorly, right? Very, very poorly, darling. Okay. Was there anyway? Then you go. Then you get the amazing Joe Martin, another incarnation of Doctor. No, she isn't. So then it's really old news about me. You are, yeah. Let's forget about you. Hopefully, the next 15 generations of the Doctor, we never have to have this chat again. What you mean? It's never going to be a woman again? I think you might have done that, darling. I think you might have done it. I'm delighted it was mine, but it was never going to happen again. Thank God. Okay. Yeah, they're not going to. They honestly, if it was done for genuine reasons, right, rather than showing off, essentially, like if it was done for genuine reasons, it could have worked, right? It could have worked. Let's have a look at some Doctor Who news sources. Anything new? Got a few things that opened up, but I think we'll go to Bounding Comics next. Yeah, this is a wild stuff. Jordy with a grief ridden about leaving shore. Really, darling. We're all quite happy. Did it just come on 2 Doctors Centenary? Yeah, I think they already did, didn't they? Oh, come on. I think forever open up. Let's have a look at Bounding Comics, okay? Oh, this is an interesting story going around. Former Deadpool series star TJ Miller claims Ryan Reynolds was horrifically mean to him, speculating lead actor was jealous of his performance as Weasel, was getting as many or maybe more accolades. Not really. Nobody really noticed you, mate. Oh man, the interwebs are just moving slow. Come on, nothing comes up. For Love and Thunder, Christian Bell says Marvel's over-reliance on green screens made filming like the definition of monotony. I'm sorry, you didn't look like you. I didn't see it. It's on Disney Plus, but I can't give a shit. Watchmen creator Alan Moore says adults who enjoy superhero media are engaging in a kind of infantilization and can often be a precursor to fascism. I have to read the article. It's not opening up, but I think look, here's the thing. I agree with Alan Moore on most things. I think he's very, very clever. I think he's cleverer than me, frankly. I disagree on some things with his career. I'm not even sure he believes, right? And like, it seems to me that if you create characters that are popular from a comic book company, they take them and use them, and they don't credit you. That was the industry, or they hand them to other creative people, creative teams to use. If you had an understanding for Watchmen, it wouldn't be that way. That it'll go. A good comparison to Watchmen is Camelot 3000, right? Camelot 3000 came out a couple of years before Watchmen, right? Gorgeous. Brian Boland did the artwork. I think Chris Claremont wrote it. Is it Chris Claremont? It was like a retelling of King Arthur, right? What when in a sci-fi setting, they're reborn in the year 3000. Now that one went out of print, and I'm sure everybody got the rights to everything back, which is what Alan Moore expected with Watchmen. It was so popular, it became a perennial, and he was. They kept trying to make a deal with him, though, so that's what I don't know about, right? But generally speaking, I agree with him. I don't know what he's saying, but I will get to this. Maybe on a video, maybe in a live stream. But I do. Oh, he's doing a talk for his new book, and I really want to get the new book. So I'm looking forward to that. Right, to leave that. He's probably right. He's probably correct. Yeah, he's not saying it is. It's saying a need. I don't know. Here's the thing with Alan Moore, though. You got to keep in mind that he's as a genius level, perception, right? And so, he looks at normal people like morons, kind of understandably, right? Again, I'm reasonably clever. He's very clever. He's much cleverer than me. I think he's a prophet, right? Honestly, I think he's tapped into a very high level of truth, right? So I got a lot of respect for him. What can I tell you? I do. I got a lot of respect for him. I think he's a clever chap, right? I do think he's a clever chap. Fine, let me open up this. Doink. All these videos to get to. Dang it. Oh. Yeah, let me see what I had. There must be a bunch of stuff that I thought I really have to get to. I've got the Wednesday trailer, which actually looks very good. I'm kind of looking forward to that. Picard teaser trailer. Discovery first look. Season 5. God help us. How are they doing 5 seasons of that garbage? Unbelievable. We got Terra Hawk's Zelda saying that Donald Trump was going to cause world war and destroy the world. Really, darling? How that one aged for you? Look at Jerry Anderson. Whatever, Jamie Anderson. Right? How did that work out for you? It's Catherine Flea's it. How you doing, Catherine? Thank you for joining. Catherine, yes. Okay. What was it? You made me think of something. I've been wrestling with Prince Andrew, right? I've been wrestling with the and I had an epiphany about it, right? What was it? Okay. This was it. So my issue with Prince Andrew is that he did military service in combat, right? And he wasn't wearing uniform at the Queen's funeral. I thought that sounded like, and why? Because he slept with essentially a prostitute, right? So I was very unsympathetic to the young lady. I can't remember her name, right? I was very unsympathetic. I was like, you got paid. You seem to be willing. I don't know what to tell you. It seems to be I don't know. You're being an opportunist, right? Kathleen Fee was the one who said, no, it's not a victimless crime at all. It's absolute trafficking. And you know what? You're absolutely right. You're right. Trafficking and abuse. I agree with you, right? I do agree. But in the same breath, I still don't think he did anything out of bad in context of who and what he is in the circles he goes in, and that life he leads, right? Now, if he believed her to not been willing, that's a different story. I don't know what the case is, right? I don't case it. But the epiphany is this, right? The epiphany is this. Is that well, I don't think he deserves the what's the word I'm looking for? The scorn that he has received. If others don't equally receive that scorn, right? If he doesn't deserve, I don't think he deserves that scorn if others don't equally receive a similar scorn. It's having said that, I don't think I want to be friends with him. Like, I wouldn't invite him out to hang out with me, right? He was like, he's a gross guy, right? But I think they all are, right? I don't think he's a good dude, right? I think that's where I was. I was thinking about it the other day. Because you really did start as sparking internal thought process of me. Fine. That's essentially what it was. Fine. Let's have a look at a bit about House of the Dragon. It's freaking awesome, right? House of the Dragon, absolutely freaking awesome. I want to really try and convey the strength of Paddy Considine's performance. He is the opposite of Jodie Whittaker, right? He literally created this role, creates this show, right? A show that I really couldn't care less about. Like, he absolutely creates it with this beautiful, subtle performance. Something else I love about this is that how avoidable and inevitable the upcoming Dance of Dragons, this civil war, is going to be. That March to the Civil War, like this, and there is this beautiful scene where it seems to be avoided, right? And it's not going to be, right? But it's very beautiful because of Paddy Considine. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, who's ringing? I got somebody calling in. It looks like, it's a cold call. 1 second. Let me just Really? Really? Who is this? Hello? I think it's a cold call. It's probably a cold call. Who are you? Who are you? I don't think they can hear me. Who are you? I don't think they can hear me. Oh, they gave up. I was hoping it was a like trying to get a scam, trying to get me to give them go and buy a Apple gift card and send it to them. I guess not. Yeah, no, just absolutely beautiful. The only thing I really am always disappointed with is the titles and theme tune, right? Every week, dun 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 dun. It just doesn't really work, right? Doesn't really work. It's okay, but dun 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 dun. Dun. It's like I think it's still tainted from the end of Game of Thrones, right? Which is a real shame. Oh man, I don't know why these guys couldn't come in instead of Dan and Dave. Dan and Dave could have been making a Star Wars movie. Of course, with Ryan. If somebody had read the Ryan Johnson movie before they shot it, maybe that could have been saved as well. Incredible, right? House of the Dragon. House of the Dragon. So the shit is hitting the fan in this episode, right? Essentially, it's like this. You have the king, Paddy Considine. He wants to ensure the continuity of his line, the Targaryens on the throne, because they have this prophecy in this burnt into this knife that the end of the world will come and you need a Targaryen to avoid the end of all, right? Sitting on the Iron Throne, right? That's the essentially. And also, he wants there to be peace and harmony throughout the land. It's been a very peaceful, prosperous reign he's had. And he feels a bit down on himself, right? Also, he's falling apart. He has leprosy, and bits have been falling off him every episode. He's not doing well, right? He's not doing well. So he felt bad that his mortified, in fact, that his first wife, died in childbirth, with a baby dying too, and he thought he like pushed them to have to do it. Oh, he did. He did actually ordered her killed to save the baby. They said, you have to choose, or it could be both. And so he chose the kid, and they both died anyway, right? So I was racked with guilt from that, and then he ended up naming his daughter as heir instead of his brother, because it normally goes down the male line, and they and basically it wasn't going to work out. Anyway, he gets remarried to his daughter's best friend, has more kids, and essentially there's going to be a civil war. You have the queen, who is the Greens, and they think succession should go through them. The guy in charge, Otto Hightower, says there will be war no matter what. I just think he wants fucking power, right? Although everybody seems to have the best of intentions. That's the thing, right? I mean, especially the Queen comes out as having the best of intentions, sort of, right? But everybody does from their worldview. But I just think he's too convinced there could be war. I think it could have been avoided. I think if everybody can listen to the king, it all could have been avoided, right? And it's a tragedy, right? Freaking tragedy, which is what is good J.R. Martin, right? And it's beautifully told. So anyway, you got two houses from ancient Valyria alive. You got the Targaryens and the Valarians. Valarians have a dragon, but they're also sea lords, right? So opens up there in Driftwood. Oh yeah, so wait, I forgot to mention. Very important plot point, right? Very important plot point. The king's daughter marries the son of Jiffmark, I think it's called, thus giving them power, whatever. But the guy's bent as a dog's back leg, mate. He is a uphill gardener. He is a turd burglar. He is a shit stabber. Yes, indeed. I believe he's a homosexual gentleman. Or whatever off-color term you would like to use. Anyway, and they can't have a kid, right? Although it's weird. It's weird. Apparently, in the future, they find some bastard sons of his. Maybe, but it's they can't have a kid. She ends up stooping this guy, Sir, what's the name, Strong. And here's the thing: if you're from Valyria, you have silver hair or white hair, right? And the Valyrians are black, and I mean, their skin's black, their hair's white, and the Targaryens, their hair's white. The kids come out white as a loaf, and they got jet black hair. They're clearly Sir what's the name Strong's kids, right? They're very clearly his kids. This comes out a few episodes earlier, and he ends up getting murdered surreptitiously. Anyway, I digress. So now the king of the Valyrians, the head of the house, I should say, he's probably dead, right? If he's not dead, he's actually dead. They're telling him, right? He's got blood fever. His throat was cut. I don't know. He was coughing up blood last night. He's not doing well, right? He is not doing well. And so this is his brother, and he's like, okay, let's be real here. The two very white people with black hair who are clearly not related to us in any way, shape, or form, right? Nothing does. They can't. One of those can't inherit our family seat, right? It's like, are you high? Like, that's the end of our family forever. Like, and she's like, look, he wanted him. He assumed that he would take over, and he's not. They're not happy, right? And that's basically the thing that's going to start cause the world to blow up. So they over at Dragonstone, her gay husband is apparently dead. He actually swam off into a new life, and she married the king's brother, Daemon, played by the awesome Matt Smith. Right, he is so good in this. He's fantastic. I love Daemon. He goes and he says, he's got a clutch of 3 dragon eggs, which is going to be a big deal. So they got 3 new dragons. So they just got a lady from they just got a message from Driftmark, right? And he's basically telling her that he's going to challenge the succession. She's pregnant, I think, with their second or third kid. So this is the kid again, jet black hair, clearly not Valerian, right? He's supposed to sit on the Iron Throne. The king is like, that kid's super kosher, right? He's the safest and securest kid ever. That must be my kid, right? The kid who clearly isn't related to me. Oh, if he's related, is his grandfather. But like, accepting that saves the realm. What eventually does happen is what happens in war. Essentially, everybody loses, right? Everybody loses. Everybody gets killed, and it ends up being the end of dragons, right? So he's like trying to learn his stuff, and he's not doing great, but he's young. And Matt Smith comes in and shows him the note. And it says, we got to go to King's Landing. And so they says how I wonder. So they have the Westeros Express going on in Game of Thrones. I don't think they have it. I'm fascinated now how long it'll be. So it's got to be like, I don't know, a couple of weeks later at least, right? It's got about 2 weeks or a month later. They turn up at King's Landing, and they ride in. And they go out, and there's nobody there to greet them, right? And this guy comes rushing out. He's like a minor lord. And you got like all this religious iconography now, and all the Targaryen stuff is removed. And this is the queen, right? The queen's sitting on the head of the council, and she's in charge. She speaks to the king. The king is basically, you can see he's not doing well. You see, what's his name from? Not Ralph McAnally. Oh, I can never remember his bloody name from Victory of the Daleks. Have a look at Victory of the Daleks. I can never remember his bloody name. Hang on. Victory for the Daleks. Of the Daleks cast. That came up pretty darn quick. where is it? Nicholas Pegg, Bill Patterson. There you go, Bill Patterson. He's still, I think he's a master. He's like, I know he's not master of coin. But you got a whole new small council. They're wearing green. They're basically on her side. Although the Maesters will wear that costume. Of course, seeing a black Maester again doesn't break the world. Totally happy with it, right? And also was it Lannister as a master of coin, also wearing green, right? She's really stacked the council. He said there's been was it Tamer? Was it Rhaenyra and Daemon have turned up, and also there's an incident with your son you got to deal with. He's like, okay, I got to go take care of this. I said, no, look, this is really super important. So apparently, this guy, by the way, is a twin who's also in the King's Guard. This is Alrin or Eric. I think he's Alrin, right? Or yeah, there's Alric and Eric, right? And she calls him Alric. He says is Eric Malm, or the other way around. So essentially, they end up on different sides in the upcoming war. So meanwhile, Matt Damon was it Matt Damon? I guess Matt Smith, Damon and Rhaenyra show up. This is her father going to. He's always been making these models from the history of different things. So she goes to see him. Smoke everywhere, and he's doing badly, right? He used to have this flowing white hair. I can't wait to rewatch this series. See, this is a show I think deserves a rewatch. Again, I got to get through Westworld first, but I think the first time you watch it, you just want to get the story and take it all in. And you don't know what's really going on, what's happening. But rewatching, you get to see the story as it's told. That's why I think some shows deserve a rewatch. This totally was. He is doing very badly, right? And he's like, oh, it happens to him, and he sees his brother, and he's basically not doing well, right? And he can see he's falling apart. And so she shows him that she has 2 kids, and he said his whatever his name is, Viserys. Viserys said, "Oh, he's a name for a king," so I assume he's going to end up being the king, right? And he's very like it makes him so happy, but he's also in intense pain, right? Of everything's falling apart. They give him his tea, and he smells it, and it's what's it called again? It's milk of the puppy. This sounds reasonably awesome sedative. Meanwhile, the queen is in full cunt mode. And he got the servant laying down. Now, I'm going to tell you this the other way around, rather than how it's revealed. She's just been raped, I think, right, by her son. Right now, she's terrified. She's in a lot of trouble. He said, "Listen, I just bent over to put the I don't know, something down, and he raped me, right?" And she's like, "I'm sorry, my child, you're very good." And then she puts the fear of God and saying, if you tell anybody, well, you're going to die horribly, of course, you know. And she's like, oh, yeah. So look, here you go. Here's for your trouble. She gives him like a bag of money, and she gives him this thing and says, that's just drink that, so there's no problem. It's a morning after pill, right? So drink that. Goes and wakes up her son. He's like, what the hell? You know, so you're so disgusting. He's like, oh, who gives a shit, right? Obviously hasn't been raised well. He's married to his sister, which is weird as hell. And she's like, oh, I'm so disgusted by this. And I think, well, yeah. She should have married the kid with the black hair, and that way it would have sealed the problem with the being a bastard kid, right? It's like, oh, you bloody whatever. So he turns up. Now I don't know what this man. I can't remember where she got. Did she try and kill herself? I don't think so. I got to find out what that means. You know what? Now I've got to look up a bloody name first. Hang on. It's Rhaenyra. First, I think it's Rhaenyra, right? Rhaenyra. Okay, let me see. Fine. Scar on arm. Okay, let's see what that is. What does it mean on the scars on Rhaenyra's in... Okay, fine. That came out 4 days ago. I'm looking through this. Around here, I'm looking back. Scar Here, you know what? I'll do search. Find. No, not Google search. Find. Find. There you go. Scar. No, not his scars. It's okay. We got 11 mentions of them. Hang on. Oh no, not the series. Rhaenyra Targaryen, scar on arm. Does anybody talk about it? I don't know what it means. Okay, it's the thing. I don't want to. I don't know what it means. And I can't find anything that talks about it. Okay, bottom line. Okay, bottom line. I don't know. Never mind. But she has a scar from something or other. Okay, I'm sure something that we've seen. I have no idea. Oh, maybe not. I do like the way they paced out the show. They said there's a pacing problem. No, that's a shill article to support was it Lord of the Rings, which is a piece of shit. This is awesome, right? And so you see this very tense meeting. They're not happy with his condition. Meanwhile, the boys show up. It's been about 10 years since they've been there, or 7 years or whatever, and they go and check it out, and they're kind of happy to be home. I like this too. It kind of feels like Jim Dale. And then they see was it Aemon training. Then they ended up he lost an eye to them. He's awesome, right? He's awesome. You get a great fight sequence. Sir Kristen Cole has trained him well. He said, "Well done, sir." He said, "You ready to go to any tournament now?" He said, "I don't care about tourneys, right?" And he looks over and says, "Hello, cousins. Do you want to train?" And right then, in walks the brother of the guy who's probably dead. The king is probably dead. Who's there to challenge his right to Driftmark, right? And basically call them bastards. And he's like, shit's gonna hit the fan, and I'm looking forward to this, right? So they turn up, and then the queen, the queen meets with him and he says, look, basically like this. You have my fleet. If I'm in charge and you go to civil war, which is going to, you get control of the fleet, right? He says, well, of course we're going to support you. Meanwhile, Rhaenyra goes to what's her name? The wife of the person who might be dead, Corey's. I think that's it. Corey's Valerian, right? And she tries to make a deal with her. Say, listen, how about this? My sons, my grandsons who are lying to the throne and Driftmark. They marry your granddaughters from who was it? But anyway, that way, by the next you breed it out with a generation, and you're back to having full Valerian again, right? And you don't know which way she's going to go, but she liked that she's begging and she likes that she has power. She was supposed to be the queen, but she was the queen that never was, right? They chose her to be queen, but she no, they didn't choose her to be queen. It was between her and Viserys, the guy who's falling apart, and it went to him because even though she had a stronger claim, because he's a guy, essentially. But again, great scene after great. She's fighting for her life, right? And she's terrified. So this is another fantastic scene. She goes to see her father in the middle of the night, right? And she asks him about the principal's promise, like, is it true? I'm the only reason I'm fighting for this is for you, right? The only reason I'm fighting this is because I love you and this is what you want and this is what you told me to do, and said that we got the tell me the story of the Song of Fire and Ice, right? And like just kind of like talks to him, but she can't hear. Right, and she breaks down. It's really a lovely scene, right? It's really a genuinely lovely scene. Three-dimensional of the character. So the next day, You didn't realize, but he actually heard what was going on, right? So you see his disgusting trick. It's very Singing Detective, as he has all his like boils lanced and his things dealt with and maestering. And he's like, I want to have supper, Otto. He's like, well, it's just the morning, sire. He said, no, I want you to have supper. All my family's here. I want us all to have supper tonight. He's come up with a plan. And you see, like, I think in this episode, you see like such an example of personal and royal strength, right? It's really awe-inspiring. It's fantastic, right? It really is. And he's like, Hightower doesn't want this to happen. So as he gives him the milk of the pup, he says, yeah, no, thank you. Just arrange the dinner, right? Meanwhile, it's the council and Hightower sitting on the high chair for the king because he's not doing well. And we have that it all goes down. He says, listen, don't make me say, look, I am a true born Valerian. Let it stay in Valerian blood, right? And she's like, he's clearly not Valerian. They're clearly bastard sons, but he's trying not to say it, right? So she chips in and she's like, this has already been decided. I don't know what you're talking about. It's what your brother wanted. It's like, you don't pretend you don't know what I'm talking about, right? Don't pretend you don't know. Meanwhile, I love Aemon. Aemon is just like psycho Aemon. He is like loving every minute of the chaos. He likes the chaos. He's an interesting character. I think we're going to be seeing quite a bit more of him. And so they're watching what's going down, and it's going. Yeah, he's about to call them out as bastards, and it's going badly, right? So she starts to make her case, and then her ass is saved, right? The king comes in, and it takes forever for him to hobble over. You see the queen shits herself, right? Oh, yeah. And as he the music's beautiful, right? And also Hightower realizes he's fucked as well, right? But the music is just rousing, right? And this incredible strength of this like dying man who with his last breath. You know what it reminds me of? I have to say, I've always been very impressed with this. When Ronald Reagan was shot, right? They wanted to carry him out of the ambulance on a gurney into the into the hospital. So he said, absolutely not. He's like, fill me with whatever adrenaline you have to. The country can't see the president being wheeled in on a gurney, right? I got to be walking in, right? I guess that personal strength always impressed me, and this is just. I think this is one of the strongest scenes in the entire franchise. It's wonderful, and again, Paddy Considine has created this character, this layer upon layer upon character of somebody who we absolutely do care about. And you see his struggle. He's like, I'll sit in the Iron Throne today. Otto, right? As he climbs up and he can hardly make it. A guard tries to help him and says, no, I'm fine. His crown falls off, right? And I love that. Apparently, this was improvised. Matt Damon, not Matt Damon, Matt Smith or Damon Tucker comes in and places a crown on his head. It's a lovely little scene. So he's like, "What the fuck? This is decided law, right? This is there's really nothing to talk about. You're the wife of Corin. What do you say your husband wanted? And that's absolutely correct." And she sees the tide of change. She could have gone either way, right? Although she's wearing black, which I think is significant. But it says, look, this is what my husband wanted. And more than that, Rhaenyra said the two boys can marry my two girls, and our houses will be joined. And I'm going to accept the offer. And they're like, okay. And she's like, I am fucked and I am pissed off, right? And he's like, well, this is bad news, right? Again, these guys are just enjoying the show. And then he speaks up. Okay, now it gets awesome. Okay, now it gets insane. He says, listen, you do what you want with your family. You have this freaking fantasy, this fiction that these aren't bastards, right? It's like, what you saying? He turns around and he actually calls them bastards in court, right? He actually calls them bastards. This is illegal. Viserys is like, I am going to have your tongue for this, right? Where is he? And he actually stands up. He pulls the knife out. But then, as he's hobbling down to him, he's standing there, and then, poof! His head is like just flat off, right? And he falls down. And like, what the hell, right? What the hell? And they're like, whoa! And you see, the only thing pointing left is the tongue. He's like, oh, sorry, wrong way, wrong one. It's just crazy. And Matt Damon's fantastic. Otto Hightower's like, disarm him. He's like, yeah, whatever, baby, whatever. And I like that Aemon is like, this is freaking, this is hardcore, right? This is fantastic. So it seems like Damon is the person Aemon really needs as a role model. So then the king starts coughing. The queen comes running to him and helps him down. Right? Awesome scene. Just like an awesome scene. And you see, like, they're trying to put him back together again before they send him back to Driftmark to bury. He's like, maybe you don't want to stay for it. So, darling, I've seen so much death, it doesn't bother me. That night, I forgot they have to go to dinner, right? And the king is brought in. And again, this is just an incredible incredible speech and incredible feat of acting. This is we're in episode 8. He spent 8 hours, right? 8 hours making this person, and then slowly stripping him away, stripping his physical layer, his physical self away, and you still have the core person inside. And look, if you're old enough to have loved ones that have died, this is what it's like. This is what it's like. They're still there inside. Honestly, they sedate everybody now. Keep them alive and sedate them. It's the weirdest thing. I don't think it's good for anyone, right? But they, you just see their body degenerate. So he gives this speech, right? It's beautiful. He says, "Listen, I love all of you, right? All of you mean everything to me." Right, I want to see you all happy, and he stands and gives a speech, and he takes off his mask. Right, he says, "I want you to see me for who I am. Like, I'm falling apart. Right, I put aside any disagreements, your fights. Right, just put them aside. They're not worth it. Right." That escalated with the soda engine. It did, but these fights, they're not worth it. We can live in peace, happiness, and harmony if we just choose to. And I love you. If you won't do it for your own happiness, if you won't do it for your own safety, if this is the only person who understand what war is. If you won't do it for your own future, do it for me because I love you, right? And it's such an insanely heavy scene. And he melts everybody's hearts in the room, right? Like, this is why he's great. This is just an absolute great scene. And he sits. So then Rhaenyra gets up, and she toasts Alicent, the queen. Again, she says, "You have looked after my father. You have always had the best of intentions." And she tries to make peace, right? Then Alicent says nice things about Rhaenyra. Right, and they all drink to each other, right? They all drink to each other. They had was it Aemon? I can't remember. I can't remember which one it is. He's like keeps winding up. What's the name? The black-haired kids, right? And so he slams his fist on the table, but then he turns it around and makes a toast, and makes him look like a better man. And he's like, "Thank you." Then again, this is so weird. Their brother, sister, wife, husband, they're the same one. It's so weird. She says, "Well, as you're going to be marrying your sister, your brother, your stepbrother, whatever. Don't worry, they don't bother you too often. Maybe not. But yeah, it's not. They mostly ignore you, which is going to show what a terrible wedding they have. Wedding they have, and they all laugh. And he looks around, and the black-haired kid asks the blonde girl to dance, and they have a nice time together. Right, music is playing. He looks around. He sees everybody laugh. He sees his family. Everybody he loves, right? Smiling, joyous, happy. This is his life's wish. This is everything he's ever wanted, right? This is the only thought he's ever had. And he looks around, and this for him is heaven. To see this, to see, cousins dancing with each other, and everybody laughing and smiling and happy. He reaches a point of like completion in his life, right? And you can see him cry. It's beautiful. Right, it is just one of the most beautiful scenes I've ever seen. Fantastic job. He's never going to be nominated for any of these bullshit awards, which is a shame because I think he just outacted everybody on television. Right, 2022. Nothing. It's a low bar, mate. Paddy, mate. It's a low bar. But what can I tell you? It is a scene. So they carry him back. And then it all goes to shit, right? So then you have Eamon. He toasts the bastard boys. Their father, the real father's name is Strong. Was it Harwood Strong? Says, "May I say you've always been very big, good, strong boys. Let me toast the strong boys." Right? He's like, "Why would you do that?" And it goes to a fight. And they're pulled apart. The moment of unity is lost. So here's an interesting bit though that Matt Damon I keep calling him Matt bloody Damon. Matt Smith steps in. Damon steps in and says, "Boys, stop." And he has control. Real control over them. I like that Eamon respects Matt Smith. Right. There's still pleasantries, right? There still seems to be hope, right? There still seems to be hope of reconciliation. This might be something for a future season. This was a prostitute that was with Matt Smith a few episodes ago. Clearly getting information. I could read up about it, but well. Anyway, so yeah, the episode comes to a beautiful arc ending. We have Allison feeds milk of the puppy to her husband, who's dying, caring for him beautifully, and he in his mind he's back in the conversation the night before with his daughter when she's asking about the principal's promise and everything. So he garbles stuff, and Allison thinks he's talking to her, and he's saying that her son is the prince that promised, and he must become the king of the realm to save the world. It's the most important thing in the world. And she's like, "What? I got to do that? What?" She thinks she's being told she has to stand against Rhaenyra, right? Again, tragedy. It's just tragedy. But I love the way that they're able to write into the tragedy. I like they had the bare bones of the idea. They wrote it like I didn't read the book, but it's like histories. And I like how they're able to put a layer of reality because history is never really an accurate telling of what actually happened. Very rarely, isn't it? It's like that face, so exactly. She's resolved, and I love that. And we see a picture of the knife. And he reaches up and he cries and says, "My love," right? That's last word is "my love." And the life ebbs out of him at last. Who was he talking to? Who was my love, right? Was it his first wife? I think it probably was, right? I don't know, but I think it probably was. A beautiful episode. well written and well constructed, but held together by this performance, right? Tragedy is going to happen. There's no way tragedy is not going to happen, right? It's like all tragedies, they're always unavoidable, right? They're always unavoidable, or if we choose to, we could always avoid them. You know, what can I tell you? What can I tell you? It just knocked out of the park. Like genuinely knocked out of the park in a breathtaking way. I'm looking forward to. We've got 2 more episodes, right? We got 2 more. I'm not looking forward to the 1 episode we got left of Lord of the Rings. I don't want to watch it, right? I don't want to have to go. I have to tell you, I didn't have time to get to it. Dr. Alex has done this. Has done these cut downs of edits. Well, not Dr. Alex. Dr. Alex has let me know of a person's there's been somebody who has done edited down the season 3 of the Orville, so they're like an hour length instead of an hour and 20 minutes. I sat down to try and watch the first one, and I thought it was going to be 42 minutes. I thought it was an hour. I got about 20 minutes, and I'm like, I can't put any more life into this shit. I can't put another 40 minutes in. I've tried. I really can't. But he has a video he put out where he puts the titles of the Orville to the theme of Captain Pugwash. Matches perfectly. Maybe we'll get to that on Thursday, right? Maybe we'll get to that on Thursday. But anyway, yeah. Listen, 2 more episodes to go. I think the next episode they're hiding that the king's dead, and then I don't know. There might be one big dragon battle coming. A very good show, right? Very, very good first season. It's got a lot to make up for. It's got a lot of ground to make up for. But, you know, wow. Absolutely wow. Really, really, genuinely fantastic. Yeah. I mean, honestly, this is like an epic, one of the all-time epic performances. This is up there with, like, you know, Derek Jacobi, I Claudius. This should be as iconic, right? It just breathtaking, absolutely breathtaking. Fine. With that, I've gone late tonight. With that, I'm going to hit the end broadcast button. Thank you for joining tonight. Back on Thursday. Saturday night, we're doing a show. Sunday, I'm off. It's another Jewish holiday. What can I tell you? Another Jewish holiday. And we have lots coming up. Fine. Hit the end broadcast button. Hitting again.